But it's amazing that she's going back now, distraught. She came, went out full, came back empty, and of course looking and seeing that the Lord had done this to her, okay, when God really had nothing to do with it. So, but it's really something to look at the backdrop of this and realize that, no matter what happens in your life, whether you make a bad decision or whether you're just confused over a particular thing, God is still in charge of your life behind the scenes. He's still working behind the scenes to work things out. Sometimes we've all made bad decisions and we reap of that. But a lot of times we didn't know we were making bad decisions. We thought we were doing right, or just ignorance, or whatever the case. But you know what? God, if you look at this story, God is still at work behind the scene with the disaster that's happened here with her, with Naomi. And God is still at work behind the scenes in her life. And it's amazing that she thought here, there was a famine in Bethlehem. And so they went out and they went up to Moab. And now they're coming back to the place where they started and coming back empty. And so it amazes me that sometimes because something, you can be in a place sometime and be blessed and not know it. Because you are going through a famine in your life or a difficult time, only to find out that the thing that you were so concerned about was really not that bad compared to what's going on now. And that should remind us to count our blessings. Amen? So sometimes you look at your life and you say, man, I'm in a difficult spot, I'm in a bad spot. Then you make a move and then all of a sudden it gets a whole lot worse. And you could have looked back, and you should look back and say, hey, you know what? While I was in that place, I could have counted my blessings while I was there. Because now it's a whole lot worse. And so sometimes sometimes you can't really appreciate something or someone until they're gone. Until it's gone. Amen? The famine was insignificant, wasn't it? Compared to what's happened now. Yeah. It really wasn't a big deal that there was a famine there. They could have toughed out the famine maybe. Could have stayed there and trust God. But the good part about this, God is still at work in their lives. And so many of us and many of God's people whine about unimportant things instead of counting their blessings. So it's good for you all the time in your life, no matter where you are, no matter what kind of circumstances, even if you're in a sort of famine right now, and I'm not talking about a food famine because last time I checked, Stop and Shop had a lot of stuff on the shelf. We're talking about maybe a spiritual famine or a difficult time in your life you're going through. You know what? You can always count your blessings and thank God for those things that you have. Because sometimes the things that you have, when you lose them, you don't realize how precious they are till they're gone. And then you look back and you say, wow, I should really have nothing to complain about then. I was blessed of the Lord when I was in that place. Amen?
Amen.
Even though it looked difficult at that time.